So the nice thing about Visual Studio 2012 is that there's quite a bit that you can do by hand. I should say there's quite a bit that the feature designer will do for you that you don't need to do by hand. So you should never have to write a feature manifest by hand unless there's something special that you're doing. So some of the things that you can specify with the feature designer, you can specify the title, the description, scope of the feature, any contained items, activation dependencies. Now, if there's still something that isn't supported in the designer, you can still go in and manually edit the feature XML. Or if you just like to deal with XML and you're used to doing that, you can still do that as well. You have your choice, but the nice part is that Visual Studio 2012 has a very rich feature designer and it's very easy to use. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at using the feature designer, and we'll show the properties window and how it exposes all the feature attributes. So we're back in our SharePoint solution with our SharePoint project, and this time I'm going to open feature 1 again, and I'm going to just close the Solution Explorer so we have a little bit more room. So we can look at the here's our feature designer right here, and I can do things. I'm going to rename this, so I'm going to call it my custom list. That'll be the name of the feature. And scope, we can keep it at web, so that's fine. And notice how I have 2 items here. If I didn't want the list instance here, I could take it out, or I can put it back. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm actually going to, let's go back into Solution Explorer. I'll just rename it here as well. So that's just a more meaningful name. Now, another thing I can do with this, if I click, actually let me bring this up. Okay, so I just hit F4 and I'm bringing up the properties window. Oh, let me do that again. Okay, now I have the properties list window. Now I'm meant to close this Solution Explorer, so let's close that. And you can see here's all of the attributes of my feature. And I can actually put my name in here if I want to. I'll just put my name in. I'll be the creator of this. So I'm going to save that. And now what we can do, what's interesting here is we can actually tab over to the manifest, and we can see everything that we've done so far represented as XML. So you can see here it's already entered my name as for the creator attribute for the feature XML, for the feature manifest. Here's our description. It automatically generated this ID for our feature. We're scoped at the web. Title of the feature, that's what's going to show up on the features page. And also this description will show up underneath the title. So another thing that we can do here in the designer is, let's go back to Solution Explorer. I can right click here and I can say I want to add an event receiver. And so all this was just generated automatically for me. And so if I wanted to do something on feature activated, all I have to do is just uncomment this code. And so right here, I could start writing some code for feature activate. I'm not going to do that now, but we could do that. It's very easy. Everything is, all the plumbing is taken care of for us right now. So let's add another item to our project here. I'm just going to add a new item, and I'll add a content type. I'll just call it my feature demo. We'll say add. It's going to say, oh, okay, which base content type should this type inherit from? And I'll just say, I'll choose contact. Choose contact, finish. I can add columns if I want to. I'm not going to add any columns. I'll save that. But notice how if I open up my feature designer, it's actually put the content type into my existing feature. So that's something that Visual Studio does do, so you need to be aware of that. I want my content type to be scoped at the site collection, not the web level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new feature, and I'm going to call it my custom content. My custom content type. And just give it a description to show up. And for the scope, I'm going to scope it at the site collection, and I'm going to include the content type here. And then what I want to do is get it out of the feature for the custom list, because they're scoped at two different levels. So now I have that set. I'm going to rename it. This doesn't really matter renaming it here. It's just for organizing your code a little bit better, making it more readable. So I'm going to call it my custom content. Okay, so now we have two different. So if I'm going to go ahead and deploy this. And don't worry about this. This is because we have the we've already deployed our list instance, and so we're just going to overwrite that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the template, our 15 Hive template. Let's open up features, and we're going to scroll down to see our feature. So this is the way Visual Studio does it. It creates a folder, and it basically namespaces your feature. So in our case, we have our project is SharePoint Project 2. So it creates the folder begins with SharePoint Project 2, your project name underscore whatever the name of your feature is. And so you can see here, this is done automatically. Here's our feature XML file, just pointing to the elements file. And then in here, here's our elements file. That's our custom content type. And then if I go into the site, let's go to site settings. Actually, we want to go, we'll go to site collection features. Here's our custom content type. So you can see here's the title. This is the description that we gave it. Visual Studio already activated this when we deployed the solution. I'm going to go back and then go to not the site collection level, but the actual root site. I'm going to go to the site features for the web, not the site. So now I'm going to come down here, and I can see my custom list right here, and it's activated. I'm going to Same thing. It's got the title and the description.